The superintendent said 6 kids were taken to the hospital. We're on the other side of the bus now, and you can see they're trying to pull it out, and the entrances here are taped off with signs. They'll receive thousands of dollars, but nowhere near the cap that Tennessee set. I want to show you this right here is the car. Josh, as you were just tossing to me, the wind is picking up. You can see that I'm actually on a bluff right now. Does it matter to you, though, how quickly they call it terrorism? We have a mailbox that was actually crushed by the tree that fell. You can see the tree that's still sitting on this car. However, that tree was also hitting this car earlier today. The windows have been smashed out right here. This one is laying on the ground. The car is open. We've heard that the suspect has been arrested. The Marion County Sheriff told us that his deputies also chased. Oh, actually, if you take a look right here, he's being arrested on the other side of this car. Webb, if you want to come this way, it looks like they're arresting the suspect right here. He was in the back of a Marion County Sheriff's car. It looks like he is bleeding on his head. Here's the reason why you need to hear this now. Just this week, the Food and Drug Administration said that kratom has deadly risks. But tonight, there are people who are not heeding warnings like those, saying instead kratom is keeping them alive.
It hasn't always been this easy to be a focused father.
Hold on.
For Joe Carroll, that role was even harder to play for years because of prescription pain pills.
If I didn't have them, I was angry, ill, didn't want to eat, I just hurt, I was sick.
His addiction started with a prescription from the dentist when he was a teenager. Several trips to methadone clinics and treatment facilities followed in an attempt to get clean. Nothing worked, but then a convenience store clerk suggested he try a shiny pack of kratom.
It made me feel like I was taking pain medicine, but it's hard to explain how it made me feel. It took my pain away, my cravings away. It made me eat. I mean, it just made me feel normal.
Carroll still makes trips to convenience stores in Georgia to buy capsules of kratom.
This is it.
They contain ground-up leaves from a tropical tree found in Southeast Asia.
It's really wild how kratom works.
Over several years, he says he used the plant to wean himself off of the pain pills so he could have more moments like this.
Sit down in it and I'll push you.
With his family.
Huh?
He credits kratom for his progress.
I know for a fact if I'd stayed on that road, I wouldn't have nothing right now, but probably a body bag. You know what I mean? It sounds so harsh, but that's the truth, and that's what people need to hear.
But the substance sits on the DEA's drugs of concern list. The agency says kratom can have sedative effects at high doses, and it can be addictive. The plant is often marketed as a botanical product or incense. Many packages say, do not consume. That's a red flag to Jonathan Dresser. He too was hooked on pain pills for years.
Pick your poison, you know, it's a substitute.
Dresser says swapping one substance for another fails to address the underlying issue. In fact, now living clean here in Chattanooga, Dresser's careful not to flirt with old feelings.
I know for myself, when I ever try to take something outside of my body and change my feeling, then it becomes a problem.
It's not only addicts using kratom, though. Marianne Morris was in a car accident 3 years ago.
And basically my legs always burn and tingle.
Doctors didn't expect her to live. She did, but in writhing pain. For her too, kratom became the answer.
The pain has suddenly gone away and the mood changed.
Now there's something else she's trying to make go away.
I just want the stigma to go away because I think it's a wonderful plant.
So where is that stigma coming from? In 2016, the DEA wanted to make kratom a Schedule I drug, the same category as heroin and ecstasy. But after public pushback, the DEA decided to scrap that plan. Bell still in hand, she says she's not letting this crime steal her holiday spirit.
Thank you, baby.
You can't really tell.
Hello. Good morning.
But Gladys Irvin didn't get much sleep last night.
Thank you, baby. God bless you.
She tossed and turned, thinking about the way her red kettle was stolen yesterday.
And it's like every time I turn over, I seen that car and that man.
The 66-year-old has been ringing a bell
And I'm a little bitty woman.
for nearly 10 years.
Thank God that he gave me the strength to come out here.
But has never seen someone be as brazen as the man who stole this from right under her nose.
He just snatched it up off the thing.
She took off running after him.
Only thing I seen was he got my kettle. I got to get it back.
But he hopped in a car so fast.
If my foot hadn't twisted like that, I'd have caught it.
People who heard Irvin's story today
It's really sad that somebody could do something like that. I don't understand it, really. I really don't.
came out with extra support,
I just decided it was a good place to take my extra spare change,
encouraging her to keep going.
Thank you, baby.
She says she plans to.
I've been doing this too long to let that one incident stop me. You have a happy Thanksgiving, hon.
Irvin did make a police report. We're still waiting to hear if the store has surveillance video of that theft. Reporting live in Chattanooga, Hannah Lawrence, News Channel 9. Broken windows are boarded up here behind me so that no one can get in tonight. We were the only ones here this morning when Virginia returned to her home. She wasn't ready to talk to us just yet about what she went through yesterday, but we heard her story through a neighbor she called last night.
Freed from her own home, Tuesday, Miss Virginia was taken hostage by a man police say she did not know.
I just felt really bad for her because she is such a sweet lady and to have to deal and go through something like that.
Marion Stafford lives next door. She says Virginia is in her second round of chemotherapy and was home alone when Mark Kane broke into her home with his girlfriend.
I probably wouldn't have been as cool as Virginia was.
She did the smart thing. She barricaded herself in the back room.
The sheriff says deputies got Virginia out through her back window. Stafford talked to her on the phone about the whole ordeal last night.
She just said that, you know, she just kept strong and it just endured and she was doing okay.
Tonight, though, that window and others are cracked and splattered with remnants of tear gas. Stafford says she's glad her neighbor is staying with family until the remainders of those tense hours can be fixed.
She's just a wonderful, sweet lady, a wonderful neighbor, and I'm so glad she's okay.
We reached out to several insurance companies about who's typically held responsible for damage done during a SWAT call. We were told it can take up to several months or even years to determine that and then collect all of that money. Reporting live in Bradley County, Hannah Lawrence, News Channel 9. A social media expert will be here tonight to talk to parents about the effects this has on them. Tonight's event is obviously at a girls' school, but the expert says that she's been to boys' schools like McCallie because the issue affects both genders.
This may not be a physical location.
I like Instagram a lot.
But it's where Hannah Prescott and her friends spend a lot of time.
Those are my senior pictures.
Some photos on this app make her happy.
I really love photography too.
But others have brought her to tears.
You know, it's easy to feel left out when you see things that you weren't a part of and things that you wish you had in your own life.
Katie McPherson with the Gurion Institute says that's a trend among teenage girls. Many of them experience emotional isolation, anxiety, depression, and loss of sleep after just looking at what everyone else is doing. In turn, she says some teens are posting somewhere else on the same app to get attention.
They call it Finsta or spam account. So it's an Instagram. It's basically an underground account that parents typically don't know about.
Yes, a Finstagram is a fake Instagram, and a lot of people are making separate accounts from just their normal accounts.
McPherson says girls and boys make the Finstagram accounts private and often post pictures of things they don't want their family members to know about.
In my experience, most parents have no idea how to even operate Instagram itself, much less what Finsta or a spam account is.
That's the whole point of her coming to talk to parents tonight, trying to eliminate the point where social media turns into a toxic competition instead of a place to keep up with friends.